Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how I overcame fear and bent reality. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Good morning, creators. Welcome back. Big video this morning. Yesterday was crazy, like session after session again, and almost all of them were about manifesting a specific person or had an SP component, had a specific person component. But I want to talk about two of these sessions. My intention is not to have video after video on specific persons. It's to present the metaphysical lesson behind it that applies to anything and everything that you want or desire in your life. And it's big. Really, two of the sessions that I want to talk about, and they almost blend, but both of them had to do with fear, with the idea of overcoming fear, or manifesting through fear, or persisting through it. So I want to talk about that. One was with a specific person. Another one had to do with this client who felt that he was just not accepted by his co-workers, wasn't accepted at his job, wasn't accepted by his friends. He was feeling a lot of non-acceptance in his life and even with his family. And I want to talk about this because really what was creating that was his fear of non-acceptance. How did he move through that? It was him not accepting, hear this, all possible realities. It was his own non-acceptance of all the possible potential realities, that all potential outcomes are possible, that was keeping him in this state of feeling of non-acceptance, keeping in this state of feeling like he wasn't accepted. As soon as he dropped that, as soon as he accepted all possible outcomes, right, allowed the fear to be there and say, well, all possible outcomes are accepted, he started feeling the acceptance of reality. He started feeling the embrace of his friends, of his colleagues, of his family. Do you see this? And the other had to do with this person that she said that she had been manifesting her SP for 18 months of no contact, of nothing happening. She said she was persisting and imagining, but a lot of fear, a lot of imagining that the other outcome, right, the fearful outcome, of the fear of an undesired outcome, or the fear of not getting what they want, or the fear of getting what they don't want. A lot of that was there. And I just want to say this, that when did it manifest? When did reality collapse into her desired outcome? Is when she persisted and dropped the resistance. You can't persist and resist at the same time. You're either persisting, as she said, I was imagining, I was doing subliminals and all that, or you're resisting. But I was feeling a lot of fear and I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. It was when she gave it up, when she just finally said, you know what, I accept, here it is again, I accept all possible outcomes. I accept all probabilities, all realities, and I'm just going to give it to that God. I'm going to give it to my higher power, right? I'm going to surrender it. I'm not going to resist anymore. Yet she was still persisting, no effort, but persisting in that desired end. That's when she had contact. Not only contact, that her SP had said that he was manifesting her, or what some call a copycat manifestation. But remember, and I even played with that with the thumbnail on today's video, that remember, what is really happening, it can't be any other way, right? Remember, he's coming out from you. The 3D world and the universe are within you. You're creating it all. So of course, when you desire something, it's desiring you because you're creating it. You're resonating with it. She resonated with a reality, an infinite version of her, resonated with an infinite version of him that wants the same thing. And then they're together. That's what's really happening here, right? So it's There infinite versions of her exist. And when she moved to the version that wasn't resisting, that was resting in the sure reality that is hers, that they are together. When she gave it to God, when she surrendered that resistance, she bent reality. It collapsed. The reality collapsed to her desired outcome, right? And that's why he said that. That's what you would expect, right? It doesn't, not in all cases they say that, but she was resonating with that reality where he wanted her and she wanted him, right? They wanted to be together. She rendezvoused with that reality. But remember, he comes from her. She's creating it all, as well as he creates his own reality from his point of consciousness. So I want to really hit this. Remember, persisting is not resisting. You can't do both. You're either persisting in your desired outcome with the knowing it's done, or you're resisting it, fearing. The fear, remember, fear is just the resistance to what you might call a negative or unwanted outcome. It's the fear that you won't get what you want, or you'll end up with what you don't want. To persist is to focus. That's what persistence is. It's to continue to exist in the knowing that what you want or desire is already yours, while allowing all other infinite possibilities to exist without judging any of them. Persistence is a decision to have or be that which you want to be or have, right? Just like this other kind that I overcame the fear of non-acceptance by accepting all possible realities. A decision to accept it all as possibilities, but to have what I want to have, to be who I want to be. That's powerful. Let's break this down a little bit more. Remember what Magician's Way says, right? Fear is resistance to a negative outcome, right? But what do you call a negative outcome? An unwanted outcome. That's not your desired outcome. You're judging it, right? But that's what fear is. Once you allow the possibility to exist, and you allow all possibilities to exist, because all possibilities have the right to exist. It's all that is, right? Reality is pure positive potential. And when you stop resisting, you're allowing all possibilities within that pure positive potential to exist. What you consider negative or positive is just a judgment. It's what you want and don't want. Not everyone wants the same thing. So what's unwanted to you might be wanted to somebody else. What's positive to you might be negative to somebody else. Those are just judgments. It's all pure positive potential, all that is, right? Stop resisting the isness of reality, right? All that is. That's all it is, right? What does it mean? It means that in all that is, in all that isness, all potential exists, right? Once you stop resisting the isness, all outcomes are the isness of God, the law, the absolute unfolding in physical manifested reality. It's always unfolding. That isness is always taking a different form. Once you allow all forms, all potential to exist, all possibilities, you're now freed up to call forth your desired reality. Do you see that? All outcomes are the isness of God, the law, the absolute unfolding in the physical manifested reality. So remember, and I think some of you even mentioned this idea that false evidence appearing real. That's what one of my clients was talking about yesterday. Well, really, fear is not even, it's not about being true or false, right? Because even that client said, he goes, Tom, I know people say that fear is false evidence or it's not real, but it feels very real to me. Of course it does, because everything is real or reality. That's a real experience that you're having of fear. So this really, it's a cute term, I get it, but it doesn't really fit because it's not about true or false. Everything is real or reality. It's not a question of what's real or unreal, because it's all pure positive potential. It's the great no thing that has the potential to be anything in all things. It's all there. It's really a question of what's unmanifested potential versus what's manifested potential. What's unseen and what's seen. What's not perceived by your 3D physical senses and what is perceived. That's what we're talking about. So it's not really false evidence appearing real because there is no such thing as unreal. What fear is an experience of reality. And it's a real experience to you, especially when you're feeling it. But remember, what is fear? It's a thought or assumption. It's a filter of that pure positive energy that causes some sensation in you that doesn't feel good, that doesn't feel like your source. Your emotional guidance system saying that you're thinking or assuming something that's not true, that's not the truth of your true nature. It's not saying that it's false, it's a real experience. It's just not the truth of who you are. Wow, that's powerful. So let's hit this a little bit more. Fear is not false evidence. Fear is a filter. It is a real experience of reality. However, it's an experience of ultimate reality. It's not reality. The truth of who you are is reality. The truth of that I amness is reality. So it's just an experience of that, right? It's a real experience, but it's not the reality of who you are, right? It's a thought, assumption, a belief that it's possible that you will not get what you want or you'll end up with you don't want. That's all fear is. It's resistance to the possibility that you end up with what you don't want or you don't get what you want, right? You are only ever feeling the filter of your thoughts, assumptions, and beliefs. That's what a lot of spiritual teachers talk about, the emotional guidance system. That sensation that you're feeling is indicating that you have a thought or assumption or belief that's not lined up, that's not aligned with your highest ideal, not aligned with that I amness, it's not aligned with what you really want. That's all that's saying. There's only source, there's only love, there's only all that is, there's only pure positive energy of life. And it's the filters that we put that energy through that create the perception of reality that we're feeling or thinking about. That's powerful. So stop trying to deal with, resolve, cope with, and get rid of fear and doubt. That's what makes it, quote, real to you. That's what keeps it a solid reality. Stop trying to deal with that messy middle. That only puts your focus and attention and awareness on unwanted outcomes. And focus, remember, focus creates reality. Your filters create reality. In other words, what part of all that is you are seeing, perceiving, receiving, and experiencing in any now moment. That's what really reality creation is. That's what manifesting is. That's what those filters do, and they can filter out entire realities. Fear can do that, right? Because you're focused on that unwanted outcome, right? You're focused on what you don't want when you're fearing, right? Resist nothing. Allow all realities and versions and their versions of you, all realities and versions of you, and have their right to exist and be. Allow them all to exist and to be. And then choose your imagined and desired version of you, reality, imagined then, film role. You get to choose. But resist none of them. Allow them all the potential to exist because they're going to exist anyway. You can't wipe out any part of infinity. It includes the whole. So when you're resisting any part includes the whole. You're resisting all of God, all of infinity, all of who you are. Right? I really hope this is clear because this is what these two clients really got. No condition, no outcome, no fact is final until you say so. All outcomes is reality unfolding in 3D reality. Get this. All outcomes is reality, or all that is, unfolding in 3D reality. It's the unseen unfolding, becoming seen, forming and changing forms. Non-fulfillment is impossible because there's only source, there's only unity, there's only all that is. But you can create the experience of non-fulfillment by declaring any part of that unfolding as final and unwanted. Do you hear it? That's what we're talking about. Everything is always unfolding along the path of least resistance, right? Creating a bridge of incidents to all you want and desire, always. It's always unfolding exactly the way it should be. It's only our judgment of it, our fear that it's going to be an unwanted outcome, a fear that we're not going to get what we want, that creates that filter, that thought and belief, that assumption, that then filters out entire realities, entire worlds. And we're left with a 0.0001% that we call negative or unwanted, or we call wanted. It depends what you're focused on, right? So, fear is resistance to a negative outcome. Again, from the magician's way. Remember, what is resistance? Resistance is just a thought. It's just an assumption. It's just a belief. It's just a filter that you feel, that you've felt. Right? That's all resistance is. It's a felt assumption, belief, or filter. Right? That's all it is. Do not judge according to appearances, but judge with righteous judgment. This is what Jesus said. That's what he meant. Right? That there are no outcomes that are good, bad, right or wrong, or negative or positive. You got to see the greater reality behind it. Right? The thought, assumption, and belief is just a filter. It's just conditioning all that is. Remember, we're always feeling resistance. That's how we're focused in on 3D reality. Resistance is a part of creation. But when we resist the resistance, we call that fear. And when we're resisting resistance to it, we're resisting all that is. We're judging outcomes, right? We're collapsing the possibilities into what we don't want. Do not judge according to appearances, but judge with righteous judgments. Negative outcome is a partial perception. It's incomplete seeing. That's what we judge as unwanted or negative outcome. We're not seeing the greater reality behind it. We're not seeing that as an unfolding of all that is, right? Do not fear, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. That's why Jesus said that, right? Do not fear, little flock, or little thoughts, right? Do not fear. You already have the kingdom. It's all yours. Don't judge it as it unfolds. Behind it is everything you want. Behind it is the greater reality. That's how I overcame fear and bent reality. That's what those two clients were talking about. This is Tom Kearin with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting and sharing and liking the videos. Thank you for joining the membership channel. There's a link below for some unique other content that I share on that channel, as well as live streams. We have a Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. We also have an Instagram and YouTube, Instagram and Twitter account at tomkearin.com, or just go to at Tom Kearin, or just go to our website anytime at tomkearin.com or BeSomethingWonderful.com. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom. We'll see you soon.